Hi, everybody.
Hey.
Yes, I need your approval desperately. No.
Well, you
Thank you. I'm working on it. So this is called How I Stopped Being a Woman's Libber and Learned to Love Spanx.
Taught from infancy that beauty is women's scepter, the mind shapes itself to the body, and roaming round its gilt cage, only seeks to adorn its prison. Mary Wollstonecraft.
Well, that quote is from, what, the 1800s? Thank goodness that today, a time of post-feminism, women's bodies don't determine their destiny. After all, attitudes about women have changed the world over.
I asked a Burmese why women, after centuries of following their men, now walk ahead. He said there were many unexploded landmines since the war. Robert Mueller, FBI Director, 2013.
Okay, but that's Burma. Let's check out Time Magazine's selection of most influential people in the April 2012 issue. No doubt there are accomplished, respected women on that list now. Sure enough, I read, the woman who invented Spanx undergarments is one of the most influential people of the year. Well, that's what I call influential. In other post-feminism news, on a recent day in May 2013, I found a piece from writer Peggy Ornstein's website about how children's games are going sexy.
Candyland isn't the only classic that has, without our notice, gotten a hot makeover, and I'm not the only one who finds this evolution alarming. The Disney princesses, too, have grown gradually more skinny and coy over time. Even Care Bears and My Little Pony have been put on a diet.
Wow, the once innocent Candyland board game I remember playing with as a child now features girls who look like hookers. Welcome to Post-Feminist America 2013. This is an essay, yes. You will note a fair amount of narration. It is not fiction or drama, but it's its own type of creature that I call a wordplay. There will be frequent instances of a play on words, as in clever fun with language, like bitch or hoe, meaning woman, or women's liber and feminazi, meaning feminist, or playa, meaning a cool dude, a real man. You know, wordplay. Here's our cast of characters. I am the narrator. Here is baffled he. And here is also baffled she. Here is our Hooters waitress with her girls. Also our quote master and our doctor. I needed that. A little Botox. Once upon a time, when men were men and women were broads, I was a feminist and now I post. By the way, before we go any further, it's important for you to know that baffled is a gender shifter. Sometimes male, sometimes female. Yes, he or she is like the shamans who can shapeshift from human to coyote when they need to make a point. Why does this happen? Americans who are baffled by feminism, male or female, tend to speak with one voice.
It's like I said, I believe in equal pay, but I'm no
women's liber. I know. She has always equated libers with man-haters, and she does not want to be thought of as a man-hater.
I'm no man-hater. No, sir. By the way, did I tell you that cheap bastard of an ex-husband won't give me enough alimony to buy that Lexus? He said I got the implants, and that's all he's paying for. Yeah, like those are for him, for me. But now that SOB expects me to drive a 2-year-old model.
I gently steer her from continuing this often repeated diatribe. Look, baffled she, the point is we weren't just asking for equal pay. We wanted women to be valued for more than the size of their breasts, and men to be valued for more than the size of their bank accounts. Here's a quote by a guy named Tony Porter from his TED Talk. This is what we're trying to get at.
If it would destroy a 12-year-old boy to be called a girl, what are we then teaching him about girls? When a boy is born, he has no concept of gender, race, or religion. When a boy is born, he has the potential to be kind and nurturing and respectful, loving. When a boy is born, the world conspires to teach him that being a man means negating those qualities, that being a man means that he's not a girl. We need to create a world where all men and boys are loving and respectful, and all women and girls are valued and safe.
You know, the funny thing is, people were saying that same thing 40 years ago. Of course, then it was a radical idea.
Look, that might sound good, but when they grow up, girls want the tough guys, so men want to be the bad boys.
Yeah, I know. It was the mindset we were trying to change.
No guy wants to be a wuss. You libbers got us all confused. We don't know whether to get a facial or shoot something anymore. No offense, but things are way different than when you were young.
Okay, I'm ready to retire, but are you sure?
That's why they call it post-feminism, honey. What you need is a tour of post-feminist America. I'm going to show you how much progress we've made despite the libbers. First, men aren't just concerned with money or status.
I am delighted to hear this. Baffled shows me a May 30, 2010 article in the New York Times titled, "Just Don't Call It a Corset," and I read,
Spanx for Men has been a huge retail hit. Men's shapewear is the next big thing. New brands like Aquaman and Sculpties have been selling briskly. A fan of the products, a 43-year-old software executive from Ohio who owns 6 Spanx crew necks and is quoted saying, "It enhances your figure. It fits tight. It sucks you in."
At last, men and women can be sucked in together. And we can commiserate together too, as I would with the man quoted in the same New York Times article who says,
Spanx for Men is all good until you meet a chick. You gain 45 pounds when you get naked.
I feel you, bro.
I feel you too, bro. For some reason, I feel moved to tears, but I choke them back.
There. The poor guy can always get a tummy tuck.
Tummy tuck. Baffled She leads the next part of the tour. We go to her favorite restaurant, Hooters. I mentioned that oddly enough, when they first opened years ago, we were amazed that someone would have a restaurant named after insulting and stupid slang for breasts.
Look around. See the kids and the grandparents over there? This is a family place. Nobody even notices the name anymore. Besides, it's just a joke. But you feminazis didn't have a sense of humor. Hey, you know what these types of restaurants are called now? It's really clever. Restaurants. Isn't that cute?
I'm still not laughing, so she explains.
Restaurants. Get it? A play on words.
Play on words. I noticed a recent framed Hooters ad from a newspaper tacked above the pile of menus, and it reads, "Grab some Hooters." I happily pointed out to Baffled She, "It's more wordplay." I'm pleased at how I get it now. It's like saying, "Grab some cojones," meaning a guy's balls, but really meaning bowling balls. The ad might show some sexy guys holding a bowling ball saying, "Come to Cajones for the best balls." Wordplay. She is not amused and ignores my comment.
Hey, You livers wanted women to stop hating their bodies, right? Look around. These girls love their bodies, or they wouldn't show some cleavage and nice butts. Actually, I just heard they're having a change in the outfits to show more cleavage. They have to keep up with the times.
She pauses, looks heavenward, as if remembering a line in a play.
The female body is beautiful. There's nothing wrong with showing it.
Yes, it's just like looking at a work of art in a museum.
Excuse me, I couldn't help hearing what you both were talking about. I'm sorry. But I'll let you finish.
Yes, it's just like looking at a work of art in a museum, like the Louvre or someplace. Only we're in Hooters.
Like I was saying, I couldn't help overhearing what you two were talking about. You know, most of us do this because the money is really great. I get really big tips, usually. Anyway, it's better than being a stripper or something. I have friends who do that for money. Oof.
You know, that's interesting. It reminds me of what the Playboy Bunnies said back in my day. Gloria Steinman wrote about it. She went undercover as a bunny at the Playboy Club in Chicago when she was about your age.
Gloria Steinem, I'll have to Google her.
They really don't show much. I mean, look at those opaque orange pantyhose.
She suddenly grows quiet and serious, thoughtful. I expect some special insight, so I lean forward to hear this.
I bet they have to get Brazilians because they wear those short shorts, you know, where they rip off all your pubic hair down there. OMG, it hurts. I mean, really, OMG. But it's worth it because it's so much cleaner down there.
She looks at me like a teacher instructing a slow student. I'm sure I look like I'm trying to figure out a complicated math problem, and I'm hopelessly stuck.
All the young girls do it these days. It's no big deal. Strippers have been doing it forever.
Why do strippers keep coming up on this tour? For that matter, why is everything about sex?
Well, what do you mean? It's the sexual liberation you livers wanted.
Never mind. But why do girls, young women, want to look like prepubescent strippers? Why would they want to look like children instead of grown-ups?
It just looks better. I don't know. A lot of guys and girls tell me they like it.
Oh, so do men get Brazilians too?
Not as much, but I hear some get manscaped now. That means getting their balls waxed and stuff. Guys are finally starting to care about these things like only women used to. How's that for equality for you?
Intrigued and a little nauseous, I decide to Google manscaping on my smartphone and find a site called Ask Men. It features a do's and don'ts for manscaping.
Don't go bare down there. You're a man, right? Feel free to tidy up the place. In fact, we highly recommend it. But please don't turn yourself into a prepubescent boy. Sorting out your manscaping strategy shouldn't include a whole host of tools or an unhealthy desire to look like a second-rate stripper. All you really need is a basic beard trimmer and enough sense to know that hairless legs are for swimmers and 6-year-olds.
Isn't it odd that nobody gives women that kind of advice? Hey, can we go to restaurants called Peckers or Big Dicks where the waiters dress up in tight little Speedos?
You mean some kind of gay club?
No, I mean a family restaurant like Hooters or a place like Mugs and Jugs I just heard about.
That's ridiculous!
Oh, I see. Some words you just don't play with. I turn to watch TV as we wait for our burgers. I try to make a joke, to not be a humorless lipper, and tell Baffled they should call these burgers the breast in town. But she doesn't get my play on words. The afternoon talk show is doing a story about bat mitzvahs, at which 14 and 15-year-old girls get the gift of plastic surgery. and breast implants to celebrate becoming a woman. On another screen, Baffled directs my attention to a YouTube video of preteen girls dressed in skimpy, sexy outfits, bumping and grinding to Hit Me Baby One More Time. This is their middle school dance competition.
I wonder why they're playing such an old Britney Spears song.
That's the only thing that bothers you?
Well, sure. The music is so yesterday. But these costumes remind me that a couple of weeks ago, I saw on the news that preteens can get padded bathing suit tops. Isn't that cute? Hey, are you all right? You don't look so good.
This tour of post-feminist America is opening my old liber's eyes. A lot has definitely changed since the second wave of feminism 40 years ago. So far, none of it is what my feminist friends and I had in mind then, of course, but maybe I'm just out of touch. And women can be doctors and lawyers now. Maybe that's all that matters.
Nobody objects to a woman being a good writer or sculptor or geneticist if at the same time she manages to be a good wife, a good mother, good looking, good tempered, well dressed, well groomed, and unaggressive. Maria Manis.
Baffled He has returned to lead, who has the mustache? Baffled He has returned to lead me further along the tour.
So here's the best part. Let's face it. Everybody wants to look like they're in their 20s forever. But now, with Botox and all sorts of procedures, nobody has to look old anymore. Ever.
I look in a mirror. OMG, it's true. I'm an old bag. Why didn't I see it before? Baffled tells me not to worry. There's a perfect solution, he tells me. I can go under the knife and have the offensive old saggy parts sliced off. I certainly want to love my body just like the Hooters waitresses. So I write the check to the plastic surgeon and rush to the hospital. They come to wheel me to the operating room. I'm told that as they shut the door behind me, I could be heard shouting, "More collagen! More collagen!" When I am out of intensive care, there were some minor glitches in my surgery. Baffled He comes to visit me. Thanks for coming so soon after my surgery.
What surgery? You didn't have surgery. You had a cosmetic procedure.
Oh, still more wordplay. As he looks down at me in the hospital bed, the color drains from his face. There's no denying that I look like I was beaten. Damn phone, my phone. Hope it's not a sign. There's no denying that I look like I was beaten with a baseball bat after I was hit by a truck and then punched in the nose. Cosmetic procedure, I mumble through the gauze constricting my collagen and silicone swollen lips.
If a little nip and tuck helps you feel better about yourself, it's all worth it. You know, nobody forces women to have cosmetic procedures. This is a free country.
That's true. Women make plenty of choices. I just heard on the Dr. Oz show that Americans chose to spend $40 to $50 billion last year on beauty products. I spit out some blood so I can speak more clearly. 40 billion could do a lot of good a lot of other places.
They don't have to buy it if they don't want to. It's not like they're brainwashed like they are in those other countries. They are forced to wear those awful burqas. Nobody's forced to buy anything.
I nod and grimace. Choices. I've got lots of choices. Right. Nobody in America is brainwashed. I reach for my Allure magazine under the stack of Glamour, More, Shape, Fitness, Vogue, Self, InStyle, Marie Claire, and Cosmo. I give up because the pain from the stitches under my boobs is radiating red hot through my arms, damn, I really wanted to read about 10 ways to get rid of wrinkles and keep the dates. Burkas, yeah, burkas are bad, I moan. The extra painkiller has kicked in, and in my semi-delirium, I began to chant loudly. More collagen! More collagen! Burkas, boobs, and Botox! All together now! Burkas, boobs, and Botox! Oops.
What do we want?
Injections, facials, peels, and waxing!
What do we want?
Injections, facial peels, and waxing!
When do we want it?
Now! For some reason, the doctor comes rushing in, behind a nurse. I'm alarmed by their alarm. But after the doctor calms down, he reassures me that this will give me a new lease on life. He's probably in his 50s and is exceedingly handsome in a Frozen kind of way. Sorry. His forehead is smooth as an ice rink, and his eyes are oddly slanted. He winks and starts to poke me playfully until I draw back from the painful jab.
Maybe a little romance too, now that you're a hot, young-looking babe again.
Before he exits, he glances in the mirror to check that his hair is still sprayed in place. Then he turns and gives me a thumbs up. Oddly enough, a quote comes to my mind. Did I read it in college, or was it recently?
Taught from infancy that beauty is women's scepter, the mind shapes itself to the body, and roaming round its gilt cage only seeks to adorn its prison. Mary Wollstonecraft.
I sit up gingerly, careful to not disturb the oozing gauze wrapped around my head. I realize I sure could use another Vicodin. Or 2, or 10. Hey, I'm feeling happier and younger already. I push another painkiller between my collagen-filled lips that are as puffy as a blowfish's. It certainly is a brave new post-feminist world, I say to the empty room. And I would smile, only it hurts too much.